Well, hello again, my gentle people. As promised, this is my ranking video for season one. I'm about to rank these characters, these actors, these players, right? You could call it because to me it's a game. I'm about to rank these people in House of Dragon. Most of them that has younger characters, I still put them in there so you guys could I could give a different opinion on them. My ranking is going to be based on people I like, and the like is going to be how impactful they were for the show, how well written their characters were, you know, how well thought out, the how many TV time they got, how long they were on the TV, how much we saw them, how impactful they were, you know, their influence on the show, and basically just that's going to be my criteria for ranking them, and it's going to basically be how much did you impact the show will decide how much I like you. Because if you're just in the background, just not doing anything, I don't think I'm gonna like you very much. Even if you're doing good or you're doing bad, if you impact the show at all, I'm gonna have a nice rating for you. And let's not waste any time. Let's just get straight into this one. So the S tier is like I like this person a lot. Like this person is supposed to be number one for me, right? A just below there, it's a good, in school A is a good grade in your pass, flying. But S is just you could teach this course if you get what I mean. B self-explanatory, and C mid to lower. Um, and D is like I don't think you did much. I really didn't like you very much, or you didn't influence the show at all. So anyhow, let's get into it. First one, Otto Hightower. Hey man, this guy is responsible for a lot that's going on. Because if you look at it, if you remember, he's the one who mostly influenced Viserys to pick his daughter as heir. And then he pushed his daughter onto Viserys, which, wow, that's so crazy when you look at it. Everything is because of Otto. So all these people that's gonna die in the realm is because of this guy and his greed. Basically, this guy and his greed to uplift his family is what is causing everything, is the cause of everything right now. Just this one guy. And you can't blame him for it. As they said in the show, he's the second son. I think he has an elder brother who is in charge of the area they're from, Hightower, and he has to make a name for himself. So of course he made his daughter into the queen, and now he wants his grandsons to have some of the one of his grandsons to be the king. His other grandson even has great plans for him, but at the end of the day, he's the fault. He's at fault for most of this. So wow, that's crazy. So I'm just gonna put him in S. I have to put Otto in S. This was all him. His impact on the show is immense. Lenor, how did he impact the show? I think his inability to produce an heir with his wife, a legitimate heir with his wife, is part of the issue right now, but I don't believe it's the main issue, because regardless, if he had had a son, I still believe that the green side will still try to put Aegon on the throne. I still believe. So I'm gonna put him at B. I think he influenced the show a bit, but not that much. Emma Arryn, or Emma Targaryen, basically because she was married to the king. This is King Viserys' wife, and I've been doing my research, guys. Trust me. King Viserys' wife and Rhaenyra Targaryen mom. I think her impact on the show was she had a lot of influence. She wasn't on screen a lot, but the times when she was on screen, man, she was breathtaking, let's be honest. And I think she really, really had something to say about this show, and it stemmed from her not being able to give Viserys a male heir, right? Remember I said it, a male heir. And I think that's where most of the problem is. Her not being able to give Viserys a male heir kind of leads up to this, kind of leads up to Otto having this impact on the show. Because if she had a male heir, there's no way Otto could have snake his way in and do some damage, right? So her impact, I'm gonna put her here. It's crazy, but everything kind of started from her, right? Everything kind of started from her, even though she wasn't on screen that much. Allison, her impact is immense too. Her impact is immense. You could say it was inevitable for her to have kids with Viserys, so that wouldn't be a massive impact. But the fact that at the end she said, "Oh, my husband want my son to be heir," impactful. It influences the show, but I think Otto and them already had plans to put Aegon on the throne, so it's not as great as Otto. So I'm gonna put her right beside Emma for influence. Boris Baratheon, not a lot of impact, not a lot of influence, but I think what he did there at the end and letting Luke leave basically gave Aegon the go ahead to go kill Luke. One of these guys were gonna die either way. Maybe through war or something, but him telling, "Hey, not in my hall," is basically like, "Hey, go do what you want elsewhere. I don't care what you do outside of here, but not in here. I don't want to be, I don't want to get accused for this. So go do what you have to do outside, not here." So I think his impact, I'm gonna put him below Laenor. I'm definitely gonna put him below Laenor. Daemon Targaryen. This goes without saying, man. But what type of impact did he really, really, really have? You have to look at it. So he went to war, right? He came back. He introduced his niece to a lifestyle that I think if it wasn't for him and his bravery, I don't think anybody else could have gotten her to do what she eventually did in the end, right? Taking her to the brothel and, be basically getting her a rose and then leaving her like that. I think his impact and this action might have cost Rhaenyra to behave like this, right? Because she looked to him as a role model. He's his uncle. Like, she wanted to be everything he was. Like, oh, he's so brave, so daring. I want to take chances just like him. So I think, oh my gosh, yeah, I'm gonna put him there beside Otto, just because I like him a lot. Christian Cole, his impact. I hope he has a bigger role to play in season 2. But for now, so what did he really did? He had sex with Rhaenyra. I'm not sure if that first child is for him, but that child kind of looked like him. Let's be honest. That child looks more like him than Strong, right? But I think Rhaenyra, if it was some other guard at the door at that time, would she have done that? I don't think so. So that's why I think his impact is really big. And I think him being available and letting himself, because you can't blame Rhaenyra, she's a young girl, right? He's an adult in the room at that point. He should have said no, right? But then again, she's the ruling monarch, not ruling, she's the crown princess at that point. So what if he had said no? He probably would have lost his job, right? So you could say he had no choice. I think you always have a choice. If he had said, "Hey, I pledge an oath, I'm going to stick to it," I think she would have probably respected him more. So for his impact, I'm going to put him right here with Laenor. Crab Feeder. The reason why I put him here, because he was a massive part in the early part of the show. I don't think he had a lot of impact. I think because of what he did and causing a war, it helped Damien to grow and become very seasoned and learn how to command and stuff like that. I think it had a massive role in Damien, and Damien influenced the show, and it also had a massive role in Corlys. But I think Corlys was like that either way, because as they say, he's an adventurer. So I think his impact is not that bad, but I think I'm gonna put him at D. I'm gonna put him at D. I'm gonna put him at Corlys. Massive. I think you could put him up there with Otto, but I wouldn't, because he wasn't as successful as Otto was, right? Otto got everything he needed pretty much at this point. Just the only thing Otto Hightower didn't get was Damien's death and Rhaenyra's death. Yet, let's say that. Right? The only thing he didn't get, one of his only couple wishes, are those. Corlys, basically, he didn't get most of what he wanted. His son marrying the queen, Rhaenyra, yes, he wanted. I don't think it was his choice. It was basically the king's choice. So he got that, but I don't think it was really his choice. If he had his choice, his son would have been king. So let's just put that out there. Corlys, massive impact. I'm gonna put him right here beside Alicent in A tier, right? Lord Commander what impact did he have? Didn't have a lot of impact. I think the end, him walking out like that might create a vacuum for Christian Cole to step in and become the next Lord Commander. So maybe his impact will be felt further on in the show, but for now, I'm not sure what massive impact he had in the show to this point. Now, you could also say him not willing to go to Dragonstone to go kill the queen and her husband, which is Damien. You could say that it's an impact, but be honest, he's a man. They have dragons. How far would he have gotten? I don't think he would have even gotten close to kill them once they knew his intentions, unless he tried to sneak in or something. But I think they would have probably picked up on him real quick. So for that, I don't think he had that much impact. I'm gonna put him right here with the crab feeder. And this guy right here, what's his name again? Harwin Strong, massive impact. But you could argue that if it wasn't him, it would have been somebody else. If she and Christian Cole didn't have a fallout, it probably would have been Christian Cole fathering all those kids. But his impact is massive. I'm gonna put him beside Christian Cole. Right? Look at this. All of Rhaenyra's lovers are in the same row. That's crazy. I don't remember her name. Alice, oh, what's her name? I know that she's the sister of Aegon and Aemon, and also the wife of Aegon. Her impact, I like her predictions. I don't think anyone really took them to heart, so I don't think she had that massive of an impact. Her impact in the show is that she probably had kids, but we're not gonna feel that right now because her kids are young. I hope she had boys too, so boys, girls, anything. But mostly in this era, listen to me people, in this era, a boy is the better option for monarchs. Let's call it. Girls are good too because you could do a lot. You could arrange marriages, you could get offsprings. It's just a lot. But for the rulers, right? Remember, she's married to the king, her brother, so she probably needs a son. Her impact is not as massive. I think if she had married somebody else with a very political arrangement, then her impact would have been as great. But for now, I'm gonna put her right down here. I don't think she deserves to be with the crab feeder. I think the crab feeder probably should be higher than her. I don't know. This Lannister guy, the one that wanted to marry Rhaenyra and came on a bit too strong. What's his impact? I think he's currently in cahoots with Otto Hightower, but I don't think he's calling the shots. I haven't seen any massive impact from him. So this one is easy. I'm gonna put him here. So I have these two young characters here. This is Aemon and Aegon. I think Aemon had a massive impact, especially for what's supposedly supposed to be coming in season 2 with the fight, with the war. I mean, him being so brave to go claim that dragon is immense. You have no idea. I really want to put him at S because this to me is a game changer. I'm not sure if a lot of people notice this, but this right here is a massive game changer. Just the fact that he got that dragon kind of like pushed everything in their favor a lot, just the dragon alone. And I think as a little boy, being so brave to go claim that dragon is just crazy. So I'm gonna put him, you know what, forget it. I'm gonna put young Aemon in S. Because he really influenced the show. He hasn't really influenced it yet as a young boy. So I'm gonna put him here. This young boy didn't really made a massive influence. Or you could say he kind of did, because at that point, the sides, you could see in that one shot, everybody went to one side of the room. You could tell where the sides were. Because of his actions, Rhaenyra and Alicent had a fallout. The king, his Aegon called out those boys in front of the king. It was so much. He did a lot. So I'm gonna leave him at A. Aegon, young Aegon really didn't do anything more than drink and act a fool. So I'm gonna put him right there. I think he deserves to be right there. I'm not gonna fight that. He deserves to be right there. Joffrey Long, he should have shut his mouth. I don't think he had a massive impact, because if it wasn't for him, if it wasn't him, I think Lena would have probably found somebody else, right? Him dying at the wedding Christian Cole didn't get punished for it. So I don't think he had such of a massive impact. This is Laenor, young Laenor. Did she have an impact? Not yet, because the most she probably did at that point was marry Damien. So I don't think she did much. I didn't see she really did a lot per se. She didn't really do much. Older Lenore, she could barely get Damien to go back home. I don't know. She could barely get Damien to go back home. And it took her dying before Damien go back home. So I don't think she did a lot. I really do like her though. So I'm gonna have to put her here. She really didn't do that much. Young Lenore now. Young Lenore got the biggest dragon. Wasn't a massive impact, but it probably pushed her family ranking up a bit just by having that dragon and claiming that dragon for herself. She was so inquisitive about this dragon. So I'm gonna put her here with first. Older Lenore. Oh, that's Lena Lenore. Just so I remember. Lenore. Older Lenore. What did he really did? Really didn't do anything, honestly. He really didn't do anything. I think by the time he got to this point, his decisions were already made. He was already accepting of everything. I think I'm going to give him some influence because he accepted that those kids were his, which inevitably, put some doubt in everyone's mind. Like, hey, well, Lenore accepted the kids. So who are us to say those are not his kids, So I think if he had come out and say, hey, those are not my kids, then the show would have been different. But him accepting the kids as his is giving off like, hey, he had some impact. Yeah, he influenced the show a lot. So I'm gonna put him right there with B, right where he belongs, with all Rhaenyra's suitors. What's her name? Damien's bronze, whatever you want to call her, bronze B. Lady Rhea didn't impact the show a lot. Her death didn't really mean anything in the show. The only reason why I might put her at C is because her dying opened up the door for Daemon to marry Lena and have kids with her. So I'm gonna put her here just because of her death, right? Rhaenyra. Older Rhaenyra is the question. Older Rhaenyra, what has she done? She married Daemon. Big. That's big. She had kids. Big. Very big. Those will definitely influence everything going forward. But I saw her the first time I saw her, she was having her third child. So I think her impact at that point wasn't as massive as younger Rhaenyra. So I'm definitely gonna put her here. I'm gonna put her here. For now, I know she's gonna become very great and massive in the next season. But for now, her ranking is gonna stay right here. Older Aegon. What impact did he really have though? Right? Him assaulting that girl didn't really have an impact on the show at all. Most people don't know, so it's like nothing. The bastards that were in the fighting pit, are they really his? Nobody knows whether or not. And it seems like it's a thing that's swept under the carpet. So he didn't really do much. Him becoming king wasn't his choice. I don't think it was his choice. That decision was made for him. All he had to do was walk up, kneel down, take the throne, turn around, celebrate, and almost got killed for it. But he really didn't influence a lot. So I'm going to put him right. I haven't seen him made any decisions though. Any decisions at all. So I'm going to put him right here. He really didn't do anything. Larry Strong. Let's stop it. Let us just stop it right now. Let's stop it right now. I'm going to put him, hey, this character. Dangerous guy. I believe Larry Strong, dangerous guy. I think he's playing from a very good position. I think he's playing in the shadows, in the grass, in the dark where no one is really watching him. He's making moves from beneath. He's behind the curtains. And I like characters like this. They're really interesting. I guess he has some silly ways about him with the whole foot fetish thing. But he's very, very interesting. And anyone who says otherwise, I don't think you've been watching the show. But this character is massive. His impact is gonna be felt. So let's look what he's done. He is the one that brought Otto back to the capital, pretty much, after he befriended Alicent and helped her get her dad back by killing his own family, his own dad and brother, right? And you could tell his influence has grown ever since he met her when she was a little bit of a teenager, right? His influence was immense, and even now in the show, you can still see him making moves. I could see him joining sides with Otto, The whole thing with burning down the White Worm's house was all him. Of course, I think it was all him. I think the influence he had on the show, bringing back Otto, is great because just because of that, it gave them time to plan what they need to do to move forward and put Aegon on the throne. So I think just by that alone, he deserves to be in the S tier. Dangerous player, dangerous character in this show. I really think anyone who's underestimating him is crazy. He could easily flip to the other side if he wants. That's how dangerous he is. So I'm really looking forward to him and what he has to bring to the show. All right, who else? Laenor. I already did him. No need to do him again. Let's put him all the way down here. Rhaenys. What impact she really had. She didn't really have a lot of impact yet. Apart from in the end when she really went back to go tell, hey, this is what happened. This is what's happening. To give them a head start, like, hey, don't just sit here think everything is okay. So I think that's a massive influence, but it came late. It was at the last episode. What else did she do? I didn't think she did a lot. Oh, yes. Influencing her husband to join the black side is massive too. So I was about to put her at C, but for now, I'm definitely gonna put her up. I have to put her right here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put her right here, right there, because that alone is massive. Because he wanted to just have nothing to do with it, and she influenced him. That move that she made to agree with the marriage proposal, epic. Who else do we got? Viserys. Let's not even talk. He has to go here. His acting skills, out of this world. This is the best actor by far in the show. Everything this guy said, I believed him. When he talked, when he was on the screen, I felt like I was a fly on the wall in this kingdom, in this setting, like in this show. I felt like the show was real when he was on screen. That's how, like, you don't get that a lot from a lot of actors. So to see him do it so effortlessly was spectacular. I'm hats off to him. His decision making was poor. Very poor. I think his decision making was very poor. He was way easily influenced, and for that I'm gonna put him at S, because that, just him and his character and how he was as a person and his decisions, influence a lot of things that happened in the show, or that is about to happen in the show too. Vaemon didn't really do anything then die. Let's be honest. I'm gonna put him down here. He really didn't do anything. Calling out the kids and all of that, calling Rhaenyra a whore, that really didn't do a lot. Everybody already knew. He just went there and died. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. If he had been successful, then we could be like, hey, this is massive. But for now, he just died. Young Alicent was timid. Didn't really do anything, was under the thumb of her dad. Wasn't really making any strings. I think the best thing she actually did at this point, best and the worst thing, was making friends with Larry Strong. Right? She got some information from him. The thing with her talking to her uncle to, hey, it's like sending the message with the green dress, not very impactful. I'm gonna put her here. She really didn't do a lot. White Worm. She was a spy here and there. I think she really. I'm gonna put her here. I don't have a lot to say about her. She held the king for a minute. She could have easily killed him, right? All of that. Didn't really do much. So I'm gonna put it right here. This guy, can't remember his name. I know he's a strong father. He's the one that was in charge of the strong family. Really didn't do much. He influenced the king a lot. I'm not sure if the king really took his advice like that. I think the advice to marry Laenor to Rhaenyra was very impactful. So I'm gonna put her right here. Put him right here beside the White Worm. This girl. Oh, this is Rhaenyra. Everybody knows she did a lot. I'm gonna put her right here because she really did a lot. Let's start at it. Her choice to become. Her getting picked as the crown princess, was it her choice? She accepted it, so you could say it's her choice. Did that ask her if she wanted it and she took it? So that's very impactful. The fact that she went with Otto to go talk down Damien, that was impactful because Otto was supposed to die right there. And then what she did with Christian Cole, very impactful. She lost him forever. What she did with Lenore, very impactful. She lost him forever. I think everything she did in the early stage is the reason why we're having a lot of this in the show right now. I think if she had really done her duty to her family and the realm as she promised, then most of this wouldn't been happening. If she had had a son by Leno, I think we'll be all right now. I know she said she tried, but how well you tried? If you're pushing out 3 kids for a different man, how much have you tried? You know what I mean? But she really impacted the show. I left her for last because it was epic. So that's it. That's my ranking. All the top players are up top for now. We're not gonna see the younger players anymore. I think we're gonna stick to the older one. Maybe we have flashbacks and all that. But yeah, a lot of this is how I see the show, how I think who had the most impact in this season. Next season I'll do the same thing. Who impacted the show a lot at the end. Or maybe I could do a ranking as the episodes go by. But yeah, this is it for now. Thank you guys for joining me. I think I might try something new where I try to read out the comments from my videos, so I feel engaged with my viewers more that way. I like replying to the comments. Keep the comments coming. Tell me what you feel. Tell me if my rankings are off. And yeah, just have a dialogue. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.